I think, yes, it's working. Did you receive a pop-up with a message?
No.
No?
Oh, no.
No, yes?
Appears, but yeah.
No. So, hello, YouTubers. Today I'm here with Rebecca, and we are talking about lifestyle and how your lifestyle can upset disease. So before we start our discussion today, Rebecca, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. My name is Rebecca. I'm 31 years old. I'm living in São Paulo. And I'm working with business improvement. And that's it.
Very nice. Yeah, I have worked with process improvement too. Currently, I work with medical devices import.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, and yeah, this is a very nice area. I really like.
Cool.
So I will share a video and let me only put the questions here on the chat.
Okay.
And let me share my screen with you. This is a short video, but it's very nice because in the video we are watching about one example about myopia. So I think it was very useful for our discussion today.
Perfect.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. So let's go. The video has almost 7 minutes. So enjoy.
At some point.
Let me only put subtitles. Let's go.
At some point growing up, my vision changed. And slowly I stopped being able to see past about this far in front of my face. Basically anything past like 10 inches in front of my eyes is blurry. So eventually I got glasses. And with them, my world turns from this to this. This whole experience, as inconvenient as it is more widespread than it's ever been.
Myopia.
Am I saying it right?
The rise in short-sightedness.
The researchers actually called it an epidemic, but they're still trying to figure out why this is.
Rates of myopia, or nearsightedness, or needing glasses to see things far away, have been rising for decades. In the US, where I live, just 25% of people were myopic in 1971. By 2004, that number was up to 42%. And if current trends continue, it's estimated that half of the world's population will be myopic by 2050. In Hong Kong, Singapore, Taiwan, and South Korea, rates are already a lot higher than that. And a growing portion have high myopia, which the WHO categorizes as a prescription stronger than -5. That puts them at risk of losing their sight one day. For decades, researchers thought that whether or not you needed glasses was just a matter of genetics. And it partly is. Having one myopic parent doubles your odds of being nearsighted, and having two increases the odds 5-fold. But human genetics don't change this fast. The abruptness of this increase suggests that this change is environmental. Something about the way we live today is making it harder and harder for people to see at a distance. So what could it be? Most people are born with eyes that are too short from front to back. In this shape, the lens focuses images behind the retina. That's the light-sensitive tissue at the back of the eye. That makes the eye hyperopic, or farsighted, blurry up close and clear from far away. But as we grow up, our eyes grow too, until they reach a spherical shape. In this shape, the lens focuses light directly onto the retina and produces a clear image. But sometimes the eye keeps growing longer. In this shape, the lens can focus up-close images onto the retina, but at a distance, images focus at a point in front of the retina. making distance vision blurry. So all of us with myopia just have eyeballs that have grown too long.
The eye does not look like a basketball anymore. It looks more like a rugby ball.
That's Xiangmei Sao. She's a myopia epidemiologist and physician in Singapore.
It is a lifelong disease. So once you're myopic, it doesn't regress.
So what's making more and more people's eyes grow longer than they should? The evidence points to the way we spend time in childhood and adolescence. That's when our eyes grow fastest. So it's when most people's myopia develops and then stabilizes, though it can develop later if you abuse your vision enough. Two factors in particular have the biggest influence: near work, or the time that we spend looking at things up close, and how much time we spend indoors. In a healthy eye, muscles have to squeeze the lens in order to focus up-close images onto the retina. So some experts theorize that if your eyes grow up straining to look at things up close a lot of the time, they'll just grow longer to reduce that strain. But the evidence on this explanation is mixed. The stronger explanation is time spent indoors. Exposure to bright outdoor light stimulates the production of dopamine in the retina. This neurotransmitter regulates the eye's growth. Without enough dopamine, the eye doesn't know when to stop growing. And indoors, it's hard to get enough.
The light from the sun has up to 100,000 lux on a sunny day, whereas in a room, the light levels generally under only about 200 to 300 lux.
But between electronic devices and early emphasis on academics, eye experts believe that children today are growing up with a combination of too little daylight and too much time doing things up close. And nowhere is that more apparent than in East and Southeast Asia.
Children in Asia are not spending that amount of time outside. This could possibly be because of the education system. It has become much more competitive. The children have a lot more homework. They attend tuition centers and they spend more time reading and writing.
Needing glasses or contacts to see for the rest of your life is obviously inconvenient. But in the long term, the consequences of that distorted eyeball shape can become serious. University of Houston professor of optometry, Mark Bullimore, explained this to me.
You know, you're born with a finite amount of tissue that make up the various coats of your eyeball. Excessive elongation of that, quite simply, places additional stress on those structures. The retina's been stretched so much that it starts to break and then sort of peel off like an old piece of paint.
The longer those eye structures are stretched, the higher the risk of disorders like myopic macular degeneration, retinal detachment, glaucoma, and cataracts.
So we're finding this almost linear relationship between the amount of myopia and the risks to your vision later in life. We used to think about myopia as an optical defect. Now we think about it much more as a disease.
And the earlier a child becomes myopic, the more serious their myopia can become, and the greater the risk of debilitating conditions, which means it's important to intervene as early as possible. So what does that look like? For those who start to develop myopia, there's treatment. First are multifocal soft contacts and glasses. They make peripheral vision intentionally blurry, which appears to slow the progression of myopia. Then there's orthokeratology, or ortho-K lenses, hard contact lenses worn only at night that reshape the wearer's cornea while they sleep, so that they can see at a distance during the day. And there are atropine eye drops, low doses of a substance that temporarily paralyzes the eye's focusing muscles, which seems to reduce the development of myopia. But the first line of defense is prevention. The simplest and most effective way to prevent myopia is to get kids to spend more time outside. In Taiwan, the government introduced a nationwide program in 2010, encouraging schools to get students outside for 2 hours every day. It appears to have successfully reversed a 40-year-long increase in myopia rates. And since 2001, Singapore has funded public education promoting time outdoors and conducted annual vision screenings at schools. And it seems to be working. Right now, these rates may be higher than ever, but the future of myopia will only look like this if we keep doing things the same way. And we've never been in a better position to change.
So when I saw this video the first time, I thought this is insane. These numbers are crazy, and I think if I've studied medicine, for example, probably I studied this area because do you imagine in 2050 half of the population with myopia? It's so crazy.
Very crazy. And I imagine it's something like use a lot of tablets, cell phones, and impact this. But the time that you live inside of your house of school impact a lot in how your vision works.
Yeah. And have you heard something about this, about myopia and this external influence?
No, I never hear about. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And actually, there are other diseases that can become worse if we have a bad lifestyle. And I think, what do you think, Rebecca? What lifestyle factors contribute to the onset of this disease?
I think that exists a lot of things that impact our lifestyles and contribute to grow up diseases. But what in the video we can see that if you live inside a place that impacts a lot. But one thing that our generation, it's feeling, it's about the time that we spend working, reading, studying, and how this impacts our life and our health. And we don't make sports, we don't spend time doing something that's good for us.
Yeah. For example, I have myopia, and after see this video, I think now I'm a little more concerned, because it's not only about myopia, but glaucoma and other disease that can show up due to my myopia.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. And when you work in front of the computer, very complicated, because you pass 8 hours, 9 hours in front of the computer.
Yeah, that's a problem for the future. And with science pandemia, everyone's working inside your house and in the front of computer. It's gonna be a big problem in the future.
Yeah, I totally agree. And do you know another example of disease caused by lifestyle?
The first thing appears in my head is the sedentary lifestyle. And when I think about that disease, a lot of problems. You getting fat, your health, your everything impacts when you are sedentarism. But the first thing it's coming in my head.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think currently we are eat with no so health foods. So this is another point. Or we don't sleep very well or enough.
Yeah, that's true.
It's crazy. And when I thinking about this disease, I remember of diabetes. It's other example.
Nowadays, a lot of people have diabetes, and it's a big problem. And it's caused by sedentarism lifestyles is one of the causes.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And here, this question is a little more technical, maybe. Most diseases have a genetic and environmental component to cause this disease. In your opinion, which is the environmental impact of this?
Oh, let me think.
When we're talking about, for example, myopia.
For me, the big impact is the health quality, because if we spend more time inside a place, it's not only myopia can impact, and it's not the only problem that we can have. For me, I think this is.
So in your opinion, the environmental factor contributes more for one set of diseases.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. And maybe not to show up the disease, but I think the environmental factor has an important impact. So, for example, in my case, I have myopia, my mother too, my brother too, my father no. So genetically, I had a big percent to have myopia, and I have. But in my case, the myopia show up when I was with 17 years. So maybe the environmental factor impact, because it's not when I was a kid.
Yeah. For me, it's the same, because I had myopia too, since I was 13, I think, 13, 14 years old. And only my mother had myopia. My father don't have, my brother don't have. I don't know, but I think that it's information that everyone needs to know.
Yes, yeah, I totally agree. And what do you think about the trend show in the video that 50% of the population will be myopic in 2050? Sorry.
I agree with that. Not only because of the environment, but I think the uses of tablets, cell phones, computers impact the population, and I think more than 50% of the population will be myopic.
And did you see that in the video talked about the Asia population, that is percent is higher there?
Yeah.
And makes sense, because they use light and computer and so many technologies a lot. So yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's not only myopia, but colon problems, because you are all day texting all day working, and I think in the future we have a lot of problems caused by our lifestyle today.
I saw a text that we are changed the spine disease, I don't know, the position, the correct position, because now we are here with the hand a little more in this position to use the cell phone. So it's so great.
Yeah, I go to the gym every day, and my teacher at the gym, every day she needs to correct my postura because every day I am with my head, and I think this is a big problem that we can fix in the future.
Yeah, but I think this is general, because if you take a look, when you are walking on the street, the people is naturally more down with the head down. It's without the cell phone on the hand, but the posture, the body has changed.
Yeah, I see that every day in the street, in the transport, that it's visible.
And the question 6 you already answered, but I will change a little. Do you have another disease caused by lifestyle?
Caused by a lifestyle, I think only myopia. But I have a genetic disease. It's hypothyroidism, and I think it's genetic. I don't know. Maybe appears another information, but it's I have this 2 diseases. And do you have another one?
Yeah, I have high blood pressure.
Okay.
And I discovered when I was 12 years, so very younger.
Yes.
And that's it. So I changed my food. And yeah, now it's okay. It's under control. But it's so crazy because I'm 34 years old, so it's okay. But yeah, it's a critical disease. Yeah.
But do you think it's environmental disease or it's a genetic problem?
I think both, because my grandmother, from both sides, my father has high blood pressure, so that's it. But maybe my lifestyle contributes a lot to show up this, because now I'm a little better, but I was and I am a little workaholic, so maybe just so
I understand you.
Yeah. Right. And Rebecca, after watching this video, will you change your habits? For example, we spend more time outdoors or go to the gym. You go to the gym every day. You told this, but after this advice, this video, something changed in your mind?
I am changing my my habits for since the pandemic, to be real. And I go to the gym every day. I'm trying to eating better. But one thing that I will change, I have twins nephews, and I will call to my brother and said that could be a problem, and help my nephews to grow up without this problem.
Yeah, it's good. I'm trying to start meditation,
Oh, that's
but
really
a short
good.
meditation, but it's so hard for me. I only read, or I only did if I have a guided meditation, do you know?
Yeah.
But it's good, I think. And I go to the gym every day. I do CrossFit, and I really like, because it's, yeah, there is competition, and yeah, so yeah, I like. And I changed also my food, my alimentation in general. So I think the other option would be to-dos related with my mind, and meditation would be a good tool.
Yeah, I'm trying to do, but I understand you. It's so difficult, and without a guide, I can do too.
Yeah. And I bought this book and I was take a look a guide to meditation. Yeah.
Do you like it?
I'm really trying, but
Did you like the book?
I only read for paid, so yeah. I think I need to read a little more to to give a feedback about this.
Perfect.
And do you believe that did you remember or do you remember about one part of the video that they talking about the Taiwan government, that they apply some political, practical, and now from now the children will spend 2 hours outside of the class.
Yes.
So considering this part, do you believe that our government should encourage or apply public politics more outdoor classes to avoid this myopia problem in children's?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I think that information about myopia had to more accessible to all the people, because I never heard about, and it's a thing that's important because it's not only the government responsibility, it's the parents, the family can contribute to make reduce this impact.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's not only about the government.
Yeah,
I think it's shared responsibility, because regarding the parents, yeah, they definitely they can encourage their sons to play something outside of their houses or something like this.
yeah. And I heard from many parents that they learn how to be a parent in pandemic, because before that their work every day, make things at home, and never spend time with their families, with their sons. And maybe now we can use this time to do something outside, or uh, and getting better our lives.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if you already see this, but I see a lot. For example, in a restaurant, the parents and the baby, or a very little children or child, and when they sit down, the first thing that the parents did is, oh, take a look in this video.
Yeah,
And yeah.
I don't judge, because my brother had twins,
Mhm.
and I know this is hard,
Yeah.
but this information about myopia and about other diseases have to be more accessible for everyone.
Yes.
But it's so difficult when I go out with my nephews. In many moments, I think, oh, can I show their a video?
Yeah, I don't judge because I don't have children, so it's easier to me to say,
Yeah,
because
for me
it's not
too.
part of my life. So but maybe if these people have access to this video or this information, maybe they changed their mindset.
Yeah. And I think there are other videos, other studies that can be useful in our lifestyle to change our lives. And it's a thing that can be more useful for everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for example, maybe this is new, I don't know.
Yeah.
But probably there are other diseases that we don't know more about our lifestyle impact, and we are doing everything wrong. So yeah.
Yeah. I believe in that too.
And the next question is, what do you think about the using cell phone to distract babies?
Yeah, I think this is a big problem, but I don't judge their parents, because I know this is so hard. And I don't know, maybe we can create something to help. But today what we have is the tablet, cell phones. And
Maybe, because I think we don't stop using cell phones, but maybe they can develop a filter or a película, I don't know, to
perfect.
decrease this impact.
Yeah. Or the parents, when decided to go out for dinner, for have a lunch, choose a restaurant that have a kids space, and the kids can make contacts with another kids and don't use the cell phone. It's one possibility too.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah, it's a good possibility. And could there be other unknown problems caused by excessive cell phone use, especially in children's health?
Yeah, I think in the future, these kids will be a problem with relationships and contact with another humans, because in many situations there are focus in a cell phone and in a tablet, whatever, and they don't have human contact with another children's, with other people. And I think this is a big problem for the future.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the social skills can be damaged for this lifestyle. And yeah, I think when you have contact with more people, we learn to manage our emotion, to negotiate better. I don't know, I think everything, to play together, to share our things. Yeah, and when you are alone in front of a cell phone, that is not.
Yeah, social media's impact the way that we live today. And I think in the future it's get worse, because everyone's follows someone that have an opinion, and we don't think about, we don't have difficult conversations. We just agree with that person, and it will be a big problem.
Yeah, I I don't consider this part, but yeah, definitely, yeah. That is the perfect life on the social media, and it's not real. So yeah, maybe the impact of this in our children's will be stronger than us, for example.
Yeah, and when these kids are very young, they don't have the discern what is right, what is wrong, and they see something, they do the same thing after 5 minutes, and it's a big problem, because we have to stop what we are doing and explain for the children that it's a wrong thing, and what is the impact about what they are doing. So it's hard to be parents nowadays.
Yeah, I think here it's not about physical disease, but especially about mental disease. Yeah, because anxiety, I think, de ansiedade. Yeah. Oh my.
The psychologists have a lot of clients in the future.
Yes. No, I think therapy is good for everybody from now.
Me too. Me too.
But I think our sons are this new generation would be more attention with this because yeah, I think they are lost the tools that we naturally had to handle our lives. It's great.
Yeah, when we in our region, when we had to make a research, we went to the library, not Google something. That's the big difference.
Yeah. And did you like of this video and this subject?
Yes, I really like. I think everything that we can change in our lifestyle to getting better, it's very useful. And when you have children in your family, in your life, this is more useful. And it's a good impact if we change.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm here thinking about horse because it's not related, but I saw a research that when you use horse, it's like a treatment, but when you walk on horse, these improve the health mental of children. I think not only children, but in general. And I think it's a nice activity because it's outside, so outdoors, and has a motor coordination. Yeah,
I never heard about it, but so interesting too.
Yeah, I saw because I was looking for this activity for me here in my city, and the responsible there shared me a website with this information. So it's other good activity, especially for kids. Yeah,
That's good. I really like it.
Rebecca, I put on the chat the survey.
Okay.
So, but it's an anonymous field. So you feel free to describe your opinion about this immersion, if you like it, if you didn't like. So it's a very important feedback for us, and a feedback about the subject as well.
Perfect. I already answered. Thank you for our talk and talk.
Thank you. Have a good holiday.
For you too.
And a good weekend.
For you too.